guys, Work here. Today we are going to be doing a little quick shot. I just coined that, so that's what we're going to go with. We're going to be doing a quick shot of just one of the cool guns that I come across, and I want to show you guys. You'll have to pardon the cricket in the background. I'm in my basement where I always do my recording, and it's the time of the year that the crickets invade, and I haven't quite found this one yet. This is not the same one that was in the Instagram video, but I digress. Anyway, so the firearm that I wanted to do the quick shot on today is this guy. This is the Grand Power Stribog. So the Stribog is it's based off the B&T APC9. I did have a video about this on YouTube and Instagram. Just my first shots that I had with it. A couple of thoughts that I had on it there. Today we're going to be trying out the Grand Power Stribog. So I actually borrowed this from Builder Shooter, and it is a cool little gun. This is a pistol, so that is what you get there. And then it's got the brace on there. It is set up for a lefty, so it's not going to do a whole lot for me, but we're going to give this thing some shots. These are the first shots. It's not sighted in, so I don't know how the accuracy is going to be, but let's give it a shot and find out. Here we go. This thing's a tack driver. I'm going to adjust the sight and we'll see how the next shots go. We are only shooting at 10 yards now, so I'm just kind of trying to get it preliminarily sighted in, and okay, next couple of shots. So far, this thing is fantastic. Recoil is not too bad at all. It's nice and smooth, very linear back. But I'm gonna go ahead and take some more shots. Okay. I think we got like 6 total now. Let's go. All right. And that is the Grand Power Stribog. I figured that I'd bring it up to you guys, show you a couple of the cool features, a couple of the features that didn't come with it but were put on it after the fact, and just kind of give you guys an idea of what this little guy is. So again, this is the Grand Power Stribog. It's based off the B&T APC9, which is, it's kind of in the newer style of, I'm not sure what to call them, because they're basically PCCs, but with a pistol length barrel that and no buttstock, no attachment like that. So they're pistols based off of like a PCC platform. So it's a really cool, it's a sub gun, I guess, is what they kind of fall inside, like kind of like the MP5, that kind of area. A couple of the cool features that the Stribog gives you. First of all, the Stribog comes in well under $1,000, where the APC9, I think it's like a $2,000, $2,500 gun. This thing comes in, I think you can get these for around, I want to say $700. A little under sometimes, a little over sometimes, but these are $700-ish. This one's got, I think, a 7-inch barrel. I don't remember how long the barrel is. I think it's about 7 inches. This is the Gen 2 version. One feature of the Gen 2 version is a non-reciprocating charging handle. So that's a big deal on a lot of these subguns. You don't have a lot of real estate to be able to grab, and to get that charging handle so that it's non-reciprocating is awesome. Personally, for me, this is set up for a lefty, more of the AK reach-around style. I would have it over here if this were set up for me. And if I were to grab it up there, it would, a reciprocating charging handle would take my hand off darn near. So that's a really nice feature on here, is the non-reciprocating charging handle. It has a threaded barrel, which is awesome. It's the 1/2 x 28 of just any standard 9mm barrel or 9mm comp or anything like that. It's got built-in backup peep sights, one in the front and one in the back there. They do have, it's a really crude notch and post there when they're folded down like that. We've got the Sightmark Wolverine up here on top just to get a dot on this thing, because let's be honest, this type of gun is begging for a dot. So aside from the backup sights, the non-reciprocating charging handle, this is also fully ambidextrous. So we have mag release, slide release, and safety on both sides, which again is a fantastic option. I especially am a fan of the ambidextrous safeties because I don't like taking a safety off with my thumb. I like taking it off with my firing finger because that gets my firing finger completely away from the trigger group. It's a lot easier for me to pull back on this style of safety with my trigger finger than it is with my thumb. So I really like that feature of it. The trigger group in this thing, these take AR-15 trigger groups, which is really nice. It gives you a lot of versatility as far as trigger groups go, but the trigger that's in it actually ain't bad. Let's see really quick. Let's grab our trigger pull gauge just for craps. Make sure it's clear, safety off, and let's go ahead and do a trigger pull on it. Okay, so it is just under an 8, you can't see that. It's just under 8 pounds, which not great. Like that's a little bit heavy, but it's actually, it doesn't feel that heavy when you're actually running it. Set is nice and short. Yeah, that doesn't, I think my trigger pull gauge is getting that one wrong. But it's a nice reset too. It's not super loud like a lot of the AR-15 resets are. AR-15 resets can get pretty darn loud. So this is a lot quieter than that, and that is really nice. My calibrated finger tells me that the trigger pull on this is probably somewhere between 6 and 7 pounds. I think 8's a little bit high, but hey, it's a calibrated finger versus a trigger pull gauge, so I'm probably wrong. So that's pretty much it. It does come with 3 stick mags. I really like these stick mags. However, I did notice one thing that that it doesn't worry me, but it is just something to keep an eye out. The ammo that I ran through this at the range is Midwest Ammo's 115 grain ammo, and it was almost too long for this stick mag. So you're going to be hard pressed to load long loaded ammo into this. If 115 grain is pushing it for the mag thickness, you're not going to get a whole lot more in it. It did run completely flawlessly on that ammo, and that ammo is typically, if you're going to get a malfunction out of a gun, it's probably going to happen with that ammo. It's a little bit on the light side. It's not like a full factory load. It's not light loaded, but it's in there. So again, if it'll run that, it'll run almost any factory ammo. I can't speak for like tool ammo and stuff like that, but any of the like brass case ammos, it'll run just fine. So a couple of the options that we've got on here. Again, we've got this Sightmark Wolverine up here. I actually don't know like any of the specs in the Wolverine. It's a non-magnified dot sight, or the dot brightness is pretty good, but it doesn't really have an auto off. It's all with the buttons and stuff, but it got dialed in pretty quick, and I believe it takes a AA battery, so that's always nice when you're looking at sights. But the more important part of what we've got here is this guy. So this is the Custom Smith Manufacturing folding brace with a tail hook on the end. The tail hook, super nice quality. You guys know how nice these things are. From Gearhead Works, it's really nice. It's metal, aluminum, it feels like, and everything is just really nice on that. The tail hook on the other, or the folding brace on the other hand, again by Custom Smith Manufacturing. So when I first got this and started playing with it, it's indicative of a 3D printed item, and so I went and looked at a little bit of the information on the Smith Manufacturing, and what they say this is a new style of injection molding. It's not a new style of injection molding. It's actually called, we're going to nerd out for a second, guys, I'm sorry. It's called HP Fusion Jet Printing. Essentially what it is instead of, for those of you who know anything about 3D printing, which this is a 3D printed component. I'm going to lay that out. This is 3D printed, and you're paying like $100 for this thing. So Normal 3D printing, you lay layers of essentially very thin cord that's melted to the layers above and below and beside it. The way that this thing works, it actually lays an entire layer at once. So instead of getting a cord wrapped around and around, you get solid layers. So it's a little bit better than like a standard FDM, which is fused deposition modeling. It's better than a component that would be made with that style. Still not injection molding quality levels. I do believe this is probably carbon. Sorry, I'll hold it up so you guys can see it. I do believe it's probably carbon fiber infused, which is nice. That'll give it a lot of rigidity. You will still have slight issues with directional forces. The way that this was built, I can tell by the way that this top is layered. I'm not sure if you guys will be able to see that. Focus. It's not going to focus. I can see lines striated across this way. And what that means is that it was printed this way. And as this ramped up, you were ending layers. So it's going to be slightly weak in this direction and in this direction. It'll be really strong in this direction, like if I was pushing down or pulling up on it, or pushing either one of these directions. But the instant you press kind of back on it, so in this direction, it becomes slightly weak, just based on how this material is layered. It'll probably be okay because you're working on compressive forces and you're not really moving things much. But with the tail hook on here, you could get a little bit of tweaking. And if something's going to happen to this, I would expect a little bit of delamination right up here. That's it though. Again, I do believe that it's probably carbon fiber infused, so it's got carbon fiber in there, kind of connecting all the layers together. As far as function, or as far as manufacturing and working this thing goes, it's got a nice size button right here with a good size latch in there. Here's the back of it, and you can see right here. Let's see, there you go. There you guys can see those lines across there. That's indicative of that 3D printing. The button is also 3D printed. It is not printed in the same direction. It is a separate piece, so it's not like they printed this thing together and then just popped it out and stuck it in here and you know, cleaned it up and expected it to work. This was printed as a completely separate piece to the entire item. It does have a QD mount down here, and the QD mount is an aluminum insert, so kudos to them on that. That was a good choice. Everything else, let's see, it locks up, and the lockup is nice and tight. I did see a couple of reviews saying that their lockup was a little bit loose, and on those reviews they said, hey, we got this fixed, we're going to send you a fix to it. So that's pretty cool that they went ahead and fixed that. And overall, the grip hook especially is a fantastic option on here. You open it up and you can get your arm in there, and it actually does support it pistol-wise. You won't be able to see that well, but it does work really well in its intended use. And overall, I'm really impressed with this thing, and it is going to be really difficult for me not to get one of these. I'm going to have a hard time getting something other than this when I go looking for something in this kind of subgun range. Obviously, there's the Scorpion out there. There's the MPX out there. There's a lot of really good options. But having played with this one a little bit, it's going to be hard for me not to go this direction. It really is. For the price point, it's going to be hard because you can't get into the CC Scorpion Micro. I don't think you can touch those for under $1,000 right now. So that's it, guys. That is the Grand Power Stribog, a cool little subgun that you guys can keep an eye out for here on the channel, because it will be making more appearances here in the near future. We are going to be doing a subgun challenge. That's right, we are going to get a bunch of these things out, and we are going to run them together and tell you guys what we like, dislike about each one, and who we think the winner is. We'll be doing that out at Applied Ballistics. If you're in the Lafayette area or greater Lafayette area, go ahead and stop by Applied Ballistics. They've got like 3 or 4 different of this style of gun in there to rent and shoot on their range. hop in there. It's an excellent staff, and it's going to be a good time. You will enjoy it. So with that being said, I thank you all for joining us. Thank you for checking this video out, for checking out this Stribog, and keep an eye out on it. Remember, if you found what we do here useful, and if you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe down below. If you want to help us out a little bit, we would really appreciate it if you hopped over to Patreon. That would be patreon.com/WorkTheTrigger. Anything that you guys can do over there will help us out on the channel and get you more things like the Stribog. And remember, I appreciate every one of you. And until next time, do your research, get informed, and get to work.